Hey guys, and welcome to
How to Make a Machinima,
the hard way, episode 2. So in today's episode, what we're going to do, first of all, a couple of shout outs to the guys who watched our first episode, give us some feedback.
Yeah, much love, much love.
From the Rooster Teeth forums have been amazing. I love you guys, especially Killer9901. Thanks for the heads up. Look, we put up the whiteboard just like you said. But we put it sideways so you can't read it.
It's cryptic. You don't want to give away too much.
And also, Dark Hole Games. You said you'd be checking out our site and stuff. So thanks for that. And also, the creators of the Spartan Man Halo Reach Machinima. You guys do some amazing work, and we really appreciate the fact that you've actually watched our video and put a comment down.
Acknowledged us.
But by the way, I'm Mirage, and this is Jibs.
As we were last week.
Yeah, nothing's really changed there. There'll be some names there that you might refer to us on our Heavy X website, so we use a different name for our Heavy X website. Don't worry about that, though. It's all like pseudonyms and stuff like that. It's because we're secret agents in secret.
Yeah, no one's going to buy that. Let's tell you what we're covering this week. This week will be mainly about filling out the script. Last week we just touched on script writing and getting to touch with your own story, and then we'll move on to a bit of storyboarding and exactly what you should do before you start playing Halo.
It's good to have Halo in front of you when you're working with things, but try not to play it. Think of it as work. Use Halo as work.
Oh, and you'll find as we go through these videos, we'll stop being general and start talking more tips specifically for Halo and Halo Reach, because that's exactly what we'll be working with. What we did last week was basics on script writing, getting your storyline and your team together, making sure you have a good idea of what your universe, what your characters, and what's generally going to happen. This week, some more specifics. So, before you move on anything, you'll have to have an episode done. The kind of format we're doing is episodes, but if you're going to do a movie, then you're going to have opening scenes written. Now, you can have a very general idea of what's going to happen after that, but you need to get the ball rolling. So, you need to think. You'll have a lot of ideas from your brainstorming, hopefully, by this point. So, you'll know exactly what you want your viewers to know, what story you want to tell. Now you just need to give your characters the words to tell your story, because as we said last week, nothing is established unless a character says it. You're not writing a book and it's not some other medium. As you're writing, you have to make sure you stay very flexible, because I know as we were writing episode 1, new ideas were coming even at that point, and I don't think you should ever say no to new ideas. There's no point where you cut those off, because you either put them for later or you incorporate them. But the idea is, if something comes across to you based on maybe, now that you're actually putting episode 1 together, you saw that it doesn't transition from one scene to the next as much as you thought it would, then invent a new character, invent a new scene. Feel free to adapt it and change it exactly how you see it, and if it doesn't sit well with you, then it won't with your audience.
You're the creator of this story, so make sure that the opinions of other people, of course they matter, but make sure when you're creating your story, you think about exactly what it is that you want to portray, because at the end of the day, the whole point of Machinima is to tell a story, and we need to make sure that the story that we're telling is impeccable. It's a really good story to tell.
Earlier on, for an episode 1, 2, or 3, depending how long your show is, you need to focus on establishing a backstory and kind of having your characters describe your universe to maybe another character. And that's the easiest way. You can't have a character just talk to the screen. You'll have to have a stupid character who doesn't know what's going on, so someone explains things to him. But as the show progresses in later episodes, you'll have to show more of the story and tell less of it. So now your audience is watching what your characters are actually doing rather than what they've heard about your universe. But that's a progression you'll make slowly. Episode 1, heavily backstory, really establish that universe. But know that you're slowly weeding out that storytelling and going to start showing the story more.
Really good films don't just use dialogue to tell the story. They use pictures and audio, of course. That's the kind of thing we're trying to do within each episode. We're trying to portray a story using pictures and audio. But any backstory that you're not going to be showing in the story, that needs to be covered in dialogue. I think we should move on to storyboarding now. The idea of storyboarding is to understand what kind of shots you're going to do before you actually go out into the real world and shoot. But in our case, it's more turning that way and playing Halo. But
which is easily distracting, so definitely have a good idea.
Yeah, so definitely have an idea of what you want beforehand. Like you can see with our storyboard. The whole idea with storyboarding is imagine the shot and then draw out the shot. And then imagine the next shot, and you're literally just moving along. Kind of like a comic book. You're just moving along from scene to scene to scene. Or within the same scene, going from shot to shot to shot. Which is what we're doing, is we take a scene and we say, okay, this is what the viewer is going to see first. And then from that, there's going to be motion, and it's going to change to this shot here. And then it's going to change to that shot there. And that's the basic essence of storyboarding, making sure that you know exactly what it is that your viewer wants to see. And that way, when you go into Halo, it's really easy to sort of just film the section that you want, and then you can move on really quickly and it's not that. It doesn't make anything too complicated. You don't end up spending loads of different times trying to look for the perfect angle because you already sort of know what shot you want. You can sort of imagine, okay, on this map we need to go to this place and look in this direction, and then you have a general idea of what the shot looks like. Do some fine tweaking, and that's your angle pretty much sorted, and then you're ready to rock and roll and film that. So for some general tips on storyboarding and script writing, my first little thing would probably be get a notepad, one of these things, or on online documentation of some sort. Just again, like in the last episode, just to get your notes down so that you have it on paper and you can refer back to these things. Like if you come up with a really good idea, you might forget it a couple days down the line, and that's the worst feeling in the world. Definitely. For storyboarding specifically, get your ideas that you write down personally, and get your core team, not like body actors and stuff like that, but your core team. Get them, sit around one of these whiteboards, or if you want to use the internet, there's a site called anymeeting.com.
Yeah, and then a design tablet on the computer is just as good as a whiteboard.
Just a Wacom bamboo tablet, one of these guys. Use a little pen.
That's right, man. They ain't paying you for this.
I know, man. So that's basically the major tips. Get your notes down. Bring everyone together so that everyone can share their ideas. Communitively, I don't know, as a community, together,
stuff you
together.
can't spell. And for script writing, once you get the episode 1 script that you're happy with, or the intro to your movie, then get again your team together, pick lines, and just go through the dialogue yourselves in a room so you can get a feel for it. See if the conversation feels natural. See if it's the right length, roughly you wanted, but definitely go for it.
All right, guys. Thanks guys for watching this quick little video. Next week or in the next couple of weeks we'll be releasing episode 3 where we're going to cover voice recording and all the really cool tips that you need to record voices. What you might need is a microphone and definitely a blanket. You'll see why. And we'll also be showing you all the different software that we can use to record audio. We've got a really cool free piece of software that you can use. It's available for both PC and Mac. So see you guys then.
Thanks for watching again, and check out our website for the tips that we've mentioned.
And one more thing, subscribe, like, comment, give us some advice. Thanks for the support, guys, like with the shout out. And also follow us on Twitter if you want. You can ask us questions about Machinima at HeavyX.
Game over, man.